Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Monday, the 17th of May, comes to you from London. And quite a bit of red on the screen this morning. Asia looking stronger, but Europe looking weaker just at my first glance. First of all, we start looking at the dollar. This is my weekly, my daily, and my 60-minute cloud charts. Below the cloud is bearish, above the cloud is bullish, and the corresponding point and figure charts. So we can see here on the long-term, medium-term and short-term trends, we are just breaking lower on the dollar on that medium-term chart, and there's a risk of coming and setting a new low. We do have this downside target. So weaker dollar again, we're just below the cloud there, so weak start to the week. The euro looking stronger as a result of bullish above the cloud on the short term. Medium term, we are just slowly breaking through the cloud there. Sterling sitting at 140.87. Still bullish on all three time frames against the US dollar. Maybe just a little bit weaker at the start of the week here, just range bound a little bit, but we do have these upside targets here to play for. 146 is looking like a very likely level with multiple targets to there. Against the euro, sterling is again just a little bit flat there, but on the medium and longer term charts, still bullish. Bitcoin's fallen quite substantially, back below the medium term cloud, $45,000. And activating a downside target to 30,000, so that's quite significant. Looking at the S&P 500 index, we're up quite strongly on Friday. Not enough to really take us fully bullish, so equity markets still in a little bit of a bind. And if we look at the Nasdaq, this is really where it's happening. We're seeing tech just weak generally. Looking at the futures this morning, we've got the S&P future down 0.23%, just under a quarter percent lower. And if we look at the Nasdaq future, down 1/3%. Key thing is, will we hold the support level there? The VIX volatility is just sitting above 20. Did spike to the high 20s in the last week, but pulling back. So the fear index is a little bit under control. And we look at the FTSE future, we're sitting strongly there as well. We're down 0.4% this morning, but we are holding the bull trends. The DAX sitting at 15,400 and back into short-term bullish territory. Range bound for several weeks there, just on that sideways move. The key thing will be to break higher. We've still got upside targets suggesting we can. A lot will depend on the US, of course. CAC 40 down slightly this morning. Japan was down 1/3%, still bearish below the cloud and looking like it is breaking that medium-term trend. The Shanghai Composite up 0.78%, back into short-term bullish territory, has work to do on the medium-term chart. The Sensex in India up 1.3%, so despite coronavirus fears there, we are seeing a move higher, and the Aussie market was slightly higher as well. We will take a look at the energy mix in a minute, but first of all, just look at soft commodities. Sugar is falling away, short-term bearish. Wheat has been a strong performer, but just the short-term, we are seeing that fall away there as well. And corn also. So seeing soft commodities just falling back over the last week or so. Gold sitting at 1852, just pushing ever higher, looking stronger and stronger into medium-term bullish territory now, so that's better for gold. And silver also up 1%. Waiting for this pattern break, this triangle break there on silver. US 10-year yield sitting at 1.62%, short-term bearish. Here we've got just a range move here, so we are consolidating, but we still do have these big upside targets. 173, 174 still looks likely back to that high set previously. And the German Bund hasn't managed to get back above the critical 170 level, so we are just keeping an eye on that as well. In terms of the energy mix this morning, we've got Brent crude up just under 1/4%. So it's just struggling to break 70. This range has been in place now for quite a while, at least a couple of weeks, and we're just struggling. WTI, much the same picture. US nat gas has broken higher, so we turned bullish again this week on US nat gas. We've got good upside targets on the 1-minute chart. Looks like we'll break higher there. Coal down this morning, but the trend is still very much up. Emissions, much the same picture there. Shortage of targets on the medium-term charts, but and the 1-minute chart. Just keep an eye on the price action. Don't forget you can change your box size, and then those targets do start to become clear if you're trading emissions. That's what you should be looking at. MBP down 3%. Weak start to the week, but the trend is still looking pretty strong. The same with TTF Dutch gas. It's looking stronger there as well. German power is down 1% this morning. We are still looking very bullish, but just waiting for upside targets. We're neutral this week on power markets. Just feel they've run a bit, and it's a bit hard to read We just watch your OTC 1 minute charts for the next move. Nordic Power, much the same picture, just a little bit range bound. The quarterly actually looking a bit better, having just broken a bit higher, so that's looking a bit better for an upside break. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.